Thanks for your interest in Loram. This video is to help you get up to speed with who we are and help you determine if Loram is the right fit for you. We'll start off by giving you a brief history of the company, then dive into the requirements of the role and show you how our machines operate. Finally, we'll cover some basic training and tell you a bit about our benefits. Please write down any questions you want to ask at an interview later. Since 1954, Loram has designed, built, and operated railroad maintenance machinery and services to the railroads throughout North America and the rest of the world. The work performed by our employees and our machines helps the railroads extend the life of their assets. Today, rail grinding and ballast operations form the backbone of our business. These core values form the basis of everything we do and every decision we make, ensuring that in this ever-changing world, our organization remains stable and successful. Here are some basic requirements all potential candidates must meet before joining our team. First, you must be able to travel for the job, and Canadian candidates must have the ability to obtain and hold a passport to enter the U.S. for training. You also must be able to pass federal, state, and provincial background checks, motor vehicle licensing, driving record checks, a physical abilities exam, and drug and alcohol screening. The first basic requirement is for travel. As a Loram field employee, you will be expected to travel 6 to 12 weeks in a row. After you have worked the 6 to 12 week rotation, you will have 2 weeks of unpaid time off. For Canadian candidates, a passport is required to enter the U.S. for new hire training. If you do not have one, Loram will reimburse you for the cost of getting one. We also provide support for any necessary entry letters for new hire training. As an applicant, you must pass Loram's federal, state, and provincial background checks. The background check includes history from the past 7 years. During the background check, our vendor will be looking for any of the events listed here, but not exclusively these events. Please review the list carefully. Having any of these events in your background could be grounds to deny you access to railroad properties, which in turn would make you ineligible to join our team. As an applicant, you must also successfully pass the E-RailSafe background check. The purpose of the E-Railroad program is to improve the security of railroad employees, operations, and facilities. E-RailSafe background checks are required by our customers to access their property. Driving is essential to the job. You must meet Loram's driving requirements and have a current valid driver's license. We'll also review your driving history for the last several years. Employees must also complete a urinalysis and alcohol screening during the first week of training. If you test positive for the presence of drugs, you will not be eligible for employment with us. Loram has a zero-tolerance policy regarding the use of drugs and alcohol. Loram uses a third-party provider to administer the physical abilities test that assesses your ability to safely perform the essential physical functions of the role. You will perform a series of physical tests that could include gripping, pinching, pushing, pulling, lifting, carrying, or working in specific postures. If you have any questions regarding the basic requirements of the job you're applying for, please take notes and ask when we meet for an interview. During your first week of training, a pre-placement physical is required and is conducted by Loram's Occupational Medical Review Officer. The Medical Review Officer will make the final determination of whether you're fit for duty based on the findings. Review the list to see what is included in the physical. Another requirement of training is the ladder test. Have you ever seen a ladder on the side of a rail car? Those are very similar to the ladders we have on our machines. You will be required to step up onto the ladder rung, which on the rail ladder is a second or third step up, and stand holding the ladder, extending your arms out, holding your own body weight for roughly 1 minute. Here's a quick recap of the basic requirements. Now that we've reviewed the basic requirements for employment, let's take a closer look at the 3 types of machines you might be assigned to as a rail equipment maintenance operator. Rail is the single most valuable asset for railroads. Replacing rail before it's necessary leads to significant costs and lost revenue. Rail grinding is the most effective maintenance practice to control deterioration. Loram offers the most versatile technology in rail grinding equipment. Ranging in size from 4 stones to 120 or more stones, Loram rail grinders can fulfill any need in the industry. Our grinders incorporate high-powered, flexible grinding module with a patented control system to maximize efficiency and create the most productive machines on the market. In addition to extending rail life, a proper rail grinding program produces a wide range of benefits, both financial and operational. When you work with Loram, you're working with an industry innovator. We're currently collaborating with the National Research Council of Canada on cutting-edge research to validate the optimum amount of rail to remove to maximize rail life. Proper drainage is essential to maintaining a solid foundation for rail. Water trapped in the ballast section affects the interlocking mechanics between rocks. In turn, this causes the ballast section to lose strength and deteriorates track geometry. Ballast cleaning breaks open mud pockets and releases trapped water to restore proper drainage. The Loram high-performance shoulder ballast cleaner removes ballast from the tie-ins outwards. It then separates, finds, and distributes cleaned ballast back to the shoulders and reshapes it. It does this all while continually moving down the track, setting the standard for speed, performance, and reliability. You can't realize the full advantages of ballast cleaning without a proper ditch to intercept and divert water from outside the track and provide necessary drainage from the ballast. Loram's Badger Ditcher creates a drainage ditch that increases the stability of the ballast and subgrade by moving water away from the track. The machine's ditching wheel cuts a trench and shapes it to suit a railroad's specific drainage requirements. It can move up to 800 tons of material every hour, making light work of big ditching jobs. Rail grinders have both an operating and a maintenance shift. Both shifts typically consists of 3 rail equipment maintenance operators. Crew responsibilities will be to take temperature readings, monitor gauges, and check fluid levels. You'll also be asked to use an air wand to blow out the air filters and various compartments of the machine. When the rail grinder has stopped working, you will be expected to change out carriage rollers and grinding stones. On the maintenance shift, you will be chipping slag, blowing down carriages, and assisting the more experienced crew members with maintenance and repairs. The railroads who own the actual segment of track tell us when we can be on track to perform maintenance. This is referred to as track time. Someone who is new to the ballast cleaner will start off in either the B-cab or ground position. As a B-cab operator, you are positioned in the rear of the machine and are tasked with regulating the amount of clean rock, known as ballast, that is being returned to the track bed. You are also responsible for regulating the blade that dresses out this ballast. The other position new employees can start in is the ground position. Here, you'll walk alongside of the ballast cleaner and monitor the machine as it operates. Using a radio, you talk to the A-cab operator and let them know where the digging wheel is in relationship to the railroad tie-ins. You also keep the A-cab operator informed when the machine is approaching a switch or railroad crossing and letting them know when to raise the digging wheel and when to place it back down. The ditch cleaner requires 1 or 2 rail equipment maintenance operators. More experienced machine operators are responsible for operating the machine. New rail equipment maintenance operators are assigned to the work car and are responsible for aiding the operator by monitoring material flow through the conveyors, identifying and communicating hazards, learning how to maintain the equipment, and clearing stray rock, dirt, and mud from equipment and work surfaces. They will also assist the more experienced crew members with repairs. Each machine has a superintendent who is responsible for crew direction and working with our railroad customers when they are on site. Crew sizes are specific to the type of machine. Here you can see the average targeted numbers of crew members per machine. Depending on contract and workload, these numbers can vary. With each additional machine we put on the rails and the increased staffing needs that go along with them, advancement opportunities at Loram can come frequently. We now have more than 90 machines in operation just in North America. The majority of our superintendents started in the same rail equipment maintenance operator position that you're currently applying for. It's not uncommon to get your first promotion within your first year. Exceptional performers have seen 2 promotions. Here's what a typical career progression may look like working within Loram's fleet operations. Pause the video here if you'd like a few minutes to review. The number of hours per week you work will vary by machine crew, staffing levels, and whether the machine needs maintenance or repair. Here are generally what you can expect for hours based on the machine. Any hours over 40 are paid overtime at time and a half. The average team works between 50 and 60 hours weekly. However, some situations may require you to work up to 72 hours in a week. Loram provides a complete benefits package that includes health and dental insurance, life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment coverage, and long and short-term disability insurance. We also provide health, dental, and life insurance coverage for your dependents. You must be an employee for 60 days to become eligible for benefits. After interviewing with Loram for the rail equipment maintenance operator position, you'll typically hear back from us within 1 week. If a conditional job offer is made and accepted, we'll begin the pre-employment process, which includes your background check, drug testing, driving record check, and physical abilities exam. The entire pre-employment process can take a few weeks to complete. Thanks again for your interest in Loram. If you feel like you'd be a great fit for this demanding but rewarding career, please proceed with scheduling your phone interview.